3,500 years ago, in the desert of Sinai, something happened that changed the moral. — 600,000 men, plus women and children. 2 million people who had walked out of 400 years of Egyptian. I will give you the tablets of stone. Moses, 80 years old, shepherd, fugitive, reluctant prophet, the man God had chosen. Moses had climbed this mountain before. He knew its rocks, its silences.
As Moses climbed higher, the mountain changed around him. The ordinary world fell away below.
Moses entered the cloud, the thick darkness where God was. This is one of the most astonishing phrases in.
The people in the camp could see it all. The cloud, the fire, the lightning.
And on that mountain, in that cloud, God spoke. Not in thunder only, in words. The people waited below. Days passed. 40 days and 40 nights, Moses remained on the
40 days, on a mountain, alone with God, receiving not just the commandments, but the full
sense. At the end of the 40 days, God gave Moses 2 stone tablets. Tablets of stone, written with.
Moses held the tablets of the law, 2 pieces of stone, carrying 10 sentences that would use. Moses heard it before he saw it. The sound of a people who had forgotten. The sound of a people diving. Moses saw the calf and the dancing, and his anger burned. And he threw the tablets from his hands.
The music stopped. The dancing stopped. And in the silence, Moses stood before what the people had made. And God heard him, and God relented. The people were not destroyed because of one man. The first commandment, you shall have no other gods before me. Not a prohibition born of insecurity.
The second commandment, you shall not make for yourself an idol, not because God is threatened by statues, because human beings are.
The third commandment, you shall not misuse the name of the Lord your God.
The fifth commandment, Helet, honor your father and your mother. The first commandment with a promise attached, that it may.
The sixth commandment, you shall not murder. 3 words, the foundation of every justice system in every civilization that has come since.
The seventh commandment, you shall not commit adultery. Every civilization that has tried to build itself without this commandment.
The 8th commandment, you shall not steal. 3 words again, the foundation of every property right.
The 9th commandment, you shall not give false testimony against your neighbor. Truth is not merely a virtue. Moses came down from the mountain, the tablets in his hands. He brought them down, and for the first time, the people saw the tablets. 2 stones. The camp slept that night under the same stars as always, but something had changed. They were no longer.
Mount Sinai still stands, the same mountain,
the same desert,
the same ancient rock. The people who camped at its base are gone.
The desert of Sinai, where a people who had nothing received everything they needed to build something that would last.
People still climb this mountain, from every nation on earth, because something in the human soul reckons. The sun sets on Mount Sinai as it has 3,500 times since Moses descended with the tablets. Under the same stars, the desert rests. The mountain stands in the moonlight as it stood on the night that.
Every dawn that comes to Mount Sinai comes to the place where the law was given. And every dawn asks the same question the mountain has always asked.
Stone, the simplest and most permanent of materials.
the medium chosen for the most important message ever.
They left the mountain.
But the mountain went with them in the tablets.
The law was not left at Sinai.
This mountain has been studied, mapped, argued over, and photographed for 3,000 years. And still,
Hear, O Israel, Moses said, "These are the commandments I am giving you today. Teach them to your children. Talk about them when you sit at home."
the desert does not negotiate. It does not soften. It does not adjust itself to what you want. The desert is what it is.
To climb this mountain is to understand something about the law it carries. It requires effort. Stone tablet inscription was not unique to the Sinai commandments. Legal codes had been written in stone before.
Vinrus. The commandments did not stay abstract. From the first day they were given, they were applied to dispute the mountain at night, under the stars that covered the Israelite camp, the same stars that shone on Moses when he carried the tablets down.
A great darkness is coming upon the lands you call holy.
The mountain turns through its day. Light comes and goes. Temperature rises and falls. The desert around it shifts with the hours.
The highest point of Mount Sinai, the place closest to the cloud,
Closest to the fire.
closest to where the law was given.
The elders of Israel took the commandments and began to work with them, not to dilute them, to apply them to every situation.
3,500 years ago, floated in a desert that looked exactly like this fell, a people received a law.
Moses would climb this mountain one final time. At the end of his life, God would bring him to the top of another mess.
The tablets were placed in the Ark of the Covenant, and the Ark traveled with the people through the desert into the twilight in the Sinai. The desert moves into its night, and the question that has followed every civilization that has inherited the Ten Commandments follows into the darkness too. From above, the mountain is simply a mountain, rock and elevation, the desert stretching to every horizon.
Moses stood alone in the night, the law given, the tablets carried, the people sleeping under the commandments they had received.
The summit of Sinai at night. No fire now, no cloud, no divine inscriptions.
They left the mountain. The mountain stayed. But everything it gave them moved through the desert.
The mountain from its base, looking up, the same view every Israelite had from the camp, looking up at where Moses went.
The summit of Sinai in the golden light, 3,500 years of sunsets on this rock, and the law given here has outlasted every one of them. They carried the law into the promised land, and their descendants carried it into exile, and from exile this back.
The midday desert makes no concessions. It is exactly what it is. Hot, bright, relentless.
The mountain in the afternoon, ordinary rock, extraordinary history. Every civilization that dawn on the summit. Every morning the light returns.
A single plant alive in the desert. Against every expectation, against every condition, still alive. The mountain at sunset, the same mountain, the same sunset. 3,500 years of sunsets on this mountain.
The summit of Sinai. In the morning light. As it has been every morning for 3,500 years since Moses stood here.
Mount Sinai. In the morning light. As it was on the morning when Moses first climbed it toward the burning bush. 2 stones. 10 commandments. The simplest possible container for the most important content ever given.
The view from the summit of Sinai. The view Moses had. The view that has not changed in 3,500 years.
The sun rises on Mount Sinai, as it has since before the commandments were given.
Moses, 80 years old when he received the law, 120 years old when he died, 40 years of carrying the commandments through the desert. Night on the summit, Rikuin, then dawn, the oldest rhythm of the world. Darkness.
The Sinai Peninsula, from above, small grains in the context of the world's geography. The mountain grains, small in the context of the world's mountains.
The base of the mountain, where the people stood. where the boundary was set. Beyond this, only Moses. The summit in the golden hour. The most beautiful the mountain gets in its daily cycle. The last light over the Sinai. The day ending over the desert where the commandments were given.
The mountain at night, under the stars, the desert silent, and the 10 Commandments still
Night. The sun rises on Mount Sinai, as it has every morning for 3,500 years.